I had always been drawn to the mysteries of the forest, its towering trees and hidden secrets. So, when I stumbled upon an invitation to join an exclusive group known as the Forest Explorers, I couldn't resist. Little did I know, my decision to enter those woods would unravel a nightmarish tale that would haunt my memories forever. When the day arrived, I met the group at the edge of the forest. There were 5 of us, each with a glimmer of excitement in our eyes as we embarked on this expedition into the unknown. The air was damp, and an eerie silence blanketed the forest, broken only by the faint rustle of leaves under our boots. Our guide, Damien, led the way, his torch illuminating a path through the dense undergrowth. The forest seemed to swallow us whole, the branches twisted and contorted like gnarled fingers, reaching out to snatch us away. The sense of being watched, of unseen eyes peering from the shadows, plagued my every step. As we ventured deeper, the whispers began. Soft, barely audible voices teasing at the edge of our consciousness. We dismissed it as the product of an overactive imagination. Eager to delve further into the heart of the forest, the trees loomed taller, their canopy creating an oppressive darkness that swallowed the sunlight. The air grew heavy, suffocating, and a wave of unease washed over me. Yet curiosity propelled us forward. With each passing hour, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They whispered secrets, tales of those who had vanished without a trace, consumed by the dark heart of the forest. Unease settled like a weight upon our shoulders, our joy now tinged with foreboding. It was on the second night, as we set up camp, that the true horrors of the forest revealed themselves. Shadows danced along the tree trunks, shimmering in ethereal light. The forest came alive with unseen entities, malicious and vengeful. We gathered around the campfire, seeking solace in its warming glow. The whispers intensified, swirling around us like a maddening vortex. The flames flickered erratically, casting grotesque shadows on the solemn faces of my companions. Fear etched deep lines on their brows, a mirror to my own growing terror. A sudden gust of wind extinguished the fire, plunging us into darkness. Panic took hold as we fumbled for flashlights, their beams revealing a twisted maze of trees that seemed to shift with malevolence. The whispers grew louder, mocking our desperation. We stumbled aimlessly, disoriented in the pitch black forest. The trees seemed to twist and contort, forming an impenetrable maze that led us deeper into the abyss. Panic clawed at our hearts as we realized that escape was impossible. And then they appeared. Figures emerged from the shadows, their grotesque forms swaying in an otherworldly rhythm. Their eyes glimmered with hunger and malice, their fingers elongated into wicked talons. They whispered in a language unknown to us, their voices dripping with dark intent. One by one, they seized my companions, their cries for help drowned by the cacophony of whispers. I watched in helpless horror as they were dragged into the depths of the forest, their terrified faces etched in my mind, forever haunting my nightmares. I ran, driven by a primal instinct to survive. The forest seemed to close in around me, its branches grabbing at my clothes and tearing at my flesh. The whispers followed, urging me to surrender to the darkness that lurked within. Hours morphed into days as I fought to escape the clutches of the forest. Hunger gnawed at my insides, exhaustion threatening to pull me under. But I persisted, driven by an unfathomable will to survive. Finally, as my strength waned, I burst through the tree line and stumbled onto a country road. Civilization awaited, salvation from the horrors that plagued the forest. I collapsed, the weight of my ordeal pressing down upon me. Years have passed, Yet the memories of that forest remain fresh in my mind. The whispers have faded, but the scars they left behind continue to remind me of the horrors I witnessed. I caution others against tempting the darkness that lurks within the forest. For once it claims you, escape becomes an impossible dream. So, heed my warning and stay far away from the whispering shadows. For within its depths, an evil beyond comprehension awaits, ready to claim those who dare to venture too close. The sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor as I ventured deeper into the unknown. The scent of damp earth and decaying leaves filled my nostrils, mingling with the foreboding stillness that hung like a shroud over the ancient trees. There was something unnatural about this place. Something that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. I had always been drawn to the mysteries of the forest, their secrets hidden behind a curtain of green. But this was different. The whispers of the wind seemed to carry a sense of urgency, a warning woven within the rustling leaves. I shook off the uneasy feeling gripping my heart and pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. As I delved deeper, the trees grew taller and thicker, their gnarled roots intertwining like sinister fingers, trapping me in their clutches. The sunlight waned, leaving me in a world of deep shadows and shifting silhouettes. It was as if the forest itself had come alive, breathing with a malevolent energy. I stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin nestled within a small clearing. Its weathered walls were a testament to time's relentless grip, memories of an age long forgotten. Curiosity got the better of me, and against my better judgment, I pushed open the aching door. Inside, the air was heavy and thick, hanging with the scent of decay. Dust motes danced in the slivers of light that peeked through the broken windows, revealing fragments of a fractured past. But it was the feeling of being watched that sent a shiver coursing down my spine, making me question my audacity to trespass upon this forsaken place. I glanced around, my heart pounding in my chest, when suddenly a piercing shriek shattered the silence. Panic welled within me as I scrambled towards the door, desperate to escape whatever horrors lurked within. But as I reached for the handle, it slipped from my grasp, and the door swung shut with a resounding thud, sealing me inside. Fear consumed me as I spun around, searching for an exit, but the room appeared to have morphed into a distorted nightmare. The walls pulsed with a sickening rhythm, whispering ancient incantations that clawed at my sanity. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows on the walls, their undulating forms becoming increasingly grotesque. From the corner of my eye, I caught sight of an ominously veiled figure emerging from the darkness. It advanced towards me, its ethereal presence emanating a chilling aura. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. The figure reached out with bony fingers, the veil parting to reveal hollow eyes that mirrored my terror. With a surge of willpower, I fought against the suffocating grip of fear and managed to flee from the cabin. As I burst into the open air, a bitter blast of wind washed over me, as if the forest itself was exhaling a sigh of relief. I stumbled through the underbrush, my heart still racing, until the tree line gave way to safety. Days turned into nights, and nights into weeks. But the memory of that forest, horror, haunted my dreams. I realized that some secrets are better left buried, and that nature, in all its beauty, can possess a darkness that mere mortals were never meant to comprehend. The veiled vein, that enigmatic realm within the forest, forever etched in my mind as a chilling reminder of the price one pays for tampering with the unknown. And so, I caution you, dear reader, should you ever find yourself drawn to the allure of a mysterious forest, tread carefully, for the whispered horrors that lie within may consume your very soul. I stood at the edge of the forest, my heart pounding in my chest like a war drum. The ancient trees towered above me, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, as if they were beckoning me to step into their dark embrace. The sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy, casting eerie shadows that danced on the forest floor. Something about this place felt wrong, but my curiosity got the best of me, and against my better judgment, I ventured forth. The air grew thick with an unnatural silence as I moved deeper into the forest, the sounds of civilization fading into nothingness. The birds fell silent, and even the wind dared not whisper among the branches. It was as if an invisible hand smothered life itself, leaving only the haunting echoes of my own footsteps. A sense of dread coiled around my heart as I realized I had ventured far from the path. Panic flitted at the edges of my mind, but I pressed on, determined to find my way back. The trees seemed to twist and contort, forming a labyrinth that played with my senses. Shadows shifted and danced on the forest floor, their movements mirroring the flickering of a dying flame. I stumbled through the undergrowth, desperate for any sign of familiarity. Suddenly, I caught a glimpse of a flickering light through the dense foliage. Relief flooded through me as I fought my way towards what I hoped would be salvation. But as I drew closer, my heart sank. The light came from an old, abandoned cabin, its windows cracked and its roof sagging. Reluctantly, I approached the dilapidated structure, my footsteps echoing through the silence. The door creaked open with the weight of years, revealing a darkness that seemed to swallow the feeble glow of sunlight. I swallowed my fear and stepped inside. The air inside the cabin was stagnant and heavy with the scent of decay. Cobwebs clung to the corners, and dust coated every surface, as if time had stood still in this wretched place. The flickering light revealed remnants of a forgotten existence. A rusty old stove, rotting furniture, and tattered remnants of curtains. A shiver ran down my spine as I felt the presence of someone watching me. I spun around, but there was no one there. The cabin was empty, or so it seemed. I could sense eyes, unseen and malevolent, boring into my soul. The air grew colder, and a chill settled deep within my bones. With each passing moment, the feeling intensified until I could no longer ignore it. Shadows danced on the walls, twisting into grotesque shapes, as if mocking my growing terror. And then, the whispers began, a cacophony of voices, barely audible but filled with malice. I covered my ears, trying to drown out the terrifying chorus, but it was no use. The voices grew louder, overwhelming my senses. I stumbled backward, desperate to escape the clutches of the cabin's haunting grasp. But with every step I took, the cabin seemed to grow larger, its walls stretching like elastic, enclosing me in a suffocating embrace. The shadows darted and swirled, their forms blending into a nightmarish tapestry of darkness. I ran towards the exit, my heart pounding as if it would burst out of my chest. But just as I reached the threshold, the door slammed shut, a deafening sound that reverberated through the cabin. I pounded on the door, screaming for release, but my cries echoed back at me, swallowed by the oppressive silence. Desperation fueled my actions as I searched for an escape. I stumbled upon an old trapdoor, hidden beneath a rotten rug. With trembling hands, I pried it open, revealing a dank and musty cellar. Desperation outweighed my fear as I descended into the abyss. The cellar was dimly lit by a single flickering candle, its feeble light revealed the horrifying truth. A collection of bones, piled high, the remnants of those who had met a similar fate. I gasped, bile rising in my throat as the realization washed over me. The cabin was a trap, a place where lost souls were lured to their demise. The whispers grew louder, their words becoming clearer, commanding me to join them in eternal torment. But I refused to become another victim. With every ounce of strength left in me, I fought against the encroaching darkness, clawing my way back to the surface. As I emerged from the forest, the air was sweet with the scent of freedom. The weight of the cabin's malevolence lifted, and I knew I had escaped its clutches. But the memory of those sinister shadows and haunting whispers would forever be etched in my mind, a reminder of the horrors that lie hidden within the depths of the forest. From that day forward, I vowed to warn others, to share my tale of the cabin that preyed on lost souls. For there are forests out there, their depths hiding secrets only the brave dare to uncover. We must tread carefully. For once trapped within their grasp, escape becomes a mere whisper in the wind, lost to the echoes of the shadows. I took a hesitant step into the depths of the forest, the dense foliage looming above me, casting an eerie gloom. An inexplicable sense of unease wrapped around my heart as I ventured further into this foreboding realm. My friends had dared me to explore this cursed forest, the forest that whispered an ancient secret, only known to those who dared to listen. The tangled roots seemed to writhe beneath my feet, clutching at my ankles, as if trying to pull me down into the bowels of the earth. The deeper I went, the more the forest transformed, a place filled with an alternate darkness, alive with malicious intent. The whispering shadows concealed their secrets, but their presence was unmistakable. As I trekked further, the forest's malevolence grew bolder. The trees twisted and contorted, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal hands. Their leaves rustled, forming a cacophony of ethereal whispers, carried on a chilly breeze that made my skin crawl. Curiosity mingled with fear, compelling me to trudge onward. The intermittent shafts of moonlight pierced through the thick canopy, revealing glimpses of twisted corpses that hung suspended from branches like grotesque ornaments, haunting reminders of the forest's dark intentions. A decrepit cabin emerged from the depths. Its dilapidated state mirrored the desolation that lay within me. I couldn't resist the urge to enter, compelled by the echoing whispers that guided my footsteps. The door creaked open like a groan of despair, revealing a scene encased in eternally agonizing history. The rotting walls bore faded Victorian-era photographs, frozen glimpses into the lives of long-forgotten denizens. Their eyes seemed to follow me, their expressions eternally trapped in abject terror. Each step I took, the whispers grew louder, a brooding chorus of anguish. I peered through a broken window, and a flash of spectral movement caught my eye. I stumbled upon a cryptic book, covered in dust and bound in ancient leather. Its pages were filled with intricate symbols, drawings, and cryptic incantations. A forbidden manuscript describing the dark arts. Before I could decipher its contents, a bone-chilling wail echoed through the air, shaking the cabin to its core. Shadows danced on the walls, twisting and elongating as tendrils of darkness reached out, desperate to snatch me away. Instinctively, I ran, my heart pounding in my chest. The forest, once menacing, now became a labyrinth of traps and snares. Every step was a perilous gamble, a fight for survival against an intangible, insidious force that lurked within the trees. The forest seemed to shift, its twisted branches flexing like tendrils, breeding an endless maze. My lungs burned, my legs ached, but but I refused to surrender to the encroaching darkness. The whispers became more frantic, their cacophony consuming all rational thought. Just as despair threatened to claim me, I stumbled upon an ancient stone altar, moss, covered and forgotten. The whispers intensified, their words manifesting as a tangible force against my psyche. My trembling hands clutched the cryptic book, my last resort. With trembling determination, I began reciting the incantations, the forbidden words dripping from my lips. The air grew heavy, filled with malevolent energy, as the shadows retreated, defeated. It was a fleeting victory, but enough to allow me an uncertain escape, my mind forever scarred by what lay within that foreboding forest. Now, as night falls, I still hear the whispers in my dreams, the haunting reminder of the horrors that reside within the forest of dread. But I have survived, a testament to the power of human resilience against the malevolence that lurks within the depths of the unknown.